All right. Good afternoon, Chad. How are you?
Oh, Gil, I'm hanging in there, I suppose.
All right. Well, I'm glad you made it here. Was this place hard to find, or were the directions I gave you pretty easy?
No, pretty easy. I got here okay, and you know, my wife really kind of pushed me here, so what can you say? I'm ready
She
to
pushed.
I'm ready to make some changes or make things a little better, Gil. It's gonna be tough.
All right. Well, that's what we're here for. We're here to figure out what it is that we can do to get you back on track. But nonetheless, I do appreciate you making the time to come down here and see me. And Chad, just what we're gonna do today is my role here is to work with you and through a series of some questions and some reflections, we're going to see if there is any behavior that needs to be changed on your end. And if there is anything that you decide that you want to change, then my role is to maybe facilitate you and maybe point you in the right direction, offer some suggestions that have worked in the past for other clients that have been in similar situations, but everything is dependent on you and what it is that you want to change, or what are some of the things that quite frankly you don't want to change. Um,
Sounds good.
Now, when we spoke over the phone, you had mentioned to me that you had gotten into some trouble with the law, and I'm not real familiar with it, with any of what the legal proceedings would be for you. I might be able to help you out with a few things, but before we get started, is there any questions that you have about what we're going to do here or what happens here with our sessions? Any concerns that you may have at this point, Chad?
Well, Gil, I guess I'm a little concerned with, who may find out that I'm here. I was wondering if if there's any confidentiality or anything like that, or how that works.
Great, sure. Everything that's discussed here in my office is confidential. Um, this information is not going to be released to your employer or to your wife or anything like that. Now, I will tell you there are some exceptions to that confidentiality. And what you have in front of you is an agreement between you and I that allows you to fully understand what the limitations are uh, of that confidentiality. And I'll highlight some of the big ones, Chad. If you disclose to me that you're thinking about harming somebody else, or if there is risk that somebody else's life may be in danger, then that confidentiality can be broken. Also, um, if any of your behavior is contradictory to your occupation, for example, I mean, if you're a nurse and uh, you're showing up to work drunk or high, or you're doing something to patients that doesn't need to be done, putting their risk in jeopardy, their safety in jeopardy, I should say, then that's another reason for me to go ahead and not uphold the confidentiality. And also, if if I get summons to court for some of the actions that you have done, if there's some criminality behind something that we discuss here, um, if I'm court summons, then you need to know that I have to appear before court and testify. Uh, but other than that, the conversations that we have are between you and I, and you are protected. Your confidentiality is protected.
Okay, I understand, Gil. It sounds good.
Okay, so Chad, as human beings, when we go through life and we work the way we work, and we socialize the way we socialize, it's usually founded on a certain set of values. And those values kind of drive our behavior. So to get started, if you would share with me is in your life right now.
Well, number one has to be my family. I'm a big family guy, and I value my wife, that's for sure. And number two, I'd say my job. Obviously, I got to put bread on the table and provide for my family, so that's up there as well. And number three, I'd say my health. If I don't have my health, I don't have a job, and I don't have a family. So I'd say my family, job, and health are one, two, and three.
Okay, awesome. Those are those are important things in a person's life for sure. So I mean, it really seems like you have your priorities in order, as far as I'm concerned. So, in your own words, Chad, why don't you share with me why are you here?
Well, my wife wants me here. I don't want to be here, but my wife wants me here, and I got a second DUI, Gil, and they took my license away from me. It's suspended for a while. I'm not even sure how long. I don't understand the legal system, but my license has been revoked, and that's going to impact my job. I do some traveling with my job, and that's a real big deal right now. So I got two DUIs and a upset wife. Job's in jeopardy, and I just I don't know what to do, Gil. I'm kind of cornered here.
Okay. Well, it seems to me like you have a very loving wife and one that really cares about you, um, and that's something definitely to build on. Um, so you have your second DUI, and you lost your license, but there's traveling that needs to be done in order for you to do your job so that you can provide food for your family. So, um, why don't you share with me what are some of the benefits that you gain from drinking?
Well, it helps me unwind from a stressful day. Uh, Helps me relax. It's been something, I've been drinking since high school, Gil, and I've got a lot of buddies in town. I've lived here my whole life, and after a hard day of work, we just like to unwind a little bit and have a few beers, maybe a few shots, and you know, I just feel like I'm unlucky. I've been, you know, drinking and driving for years, and I guess all of a sudden it's caught up with me. So I just don't think it's very fair that everyone else out there is drinking and driving, and I get caught two times, and now I, here I am. But I just like to have a few cocktails at the end of the night and unwind. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Okay. So ever since high school, it's just the way that you unwind, and it's not that you're a bad person. You just feel like maybe you were just a bit unlucky those nights.
Yeah, definitely. I just, I had a dark cloud over me that night or something, or both of those nights. But yeah, like you said, I'm not a bad guy.
Okay.
I'm not
All right.
hurting anybody.
Well, the fact that you value your family and you're really looking out for your job, and you have some concerns about your job, that shows that you're a caring person, you're a caring husband, who wants to do the right thing and continue to provide for your family. Um, Now, if you would share with me, though, what are some of the bad things that have come? Obviously, the two DUIs. Have there been any other negative instances where your drinking was detrimental to your family or to your job?
Well, my wife just thinks I'm drinking too much here the last maybe 6 or 8 months, and she's been on my back a little bit. Maybe cut back your alcohol use, and maybe find another way to unwind. So that's caused a little family strife. She and I have been fighting a little more, and we don't want the kids to hear that either. So we've noticed, maybe the kids have heard us fighting, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Okay, so your drinking is starting to create some concern on your wife's part for your health as well. Um,
Yeah,
how
I don't know why I seem to be in okay health. She wants me to go see a doctor, have my liver checked out because I've been drinking all these years, but I don't feel I don't feel like I'm sick, so I don't know why I should go see a doctor.
Yeah. So you may seems like your wife's maybe worrying for nothing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like why fix what isn't broken?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, what are some of the things that you've done in the past that haven't included alcohol when you're unwinding?
Well, I guess I've had some hobbies like going to the bowling alley or going to play some darts or shoot some pool with my buddies, but those all seem to be drinking related, so my wife and I had to talk about what I can do that doesn't involve alcohol. So I've been getting into gardening more. I've been doing some landscaping and working around the house, and just drink water and Gatorade. So those are some of the new activities that I've been engaging in.
Okay, so the activities that do involve your drinking when you're going out with your buddies and hanging out, does your wife participate in those activities with you, and does she enjoy them?
She'll go with me and she'll go bowling and she'll do all that stuff, but she'll never drink. So I can't call her a hypocrite.
Okay. So when you're out there doing the drinking with your buddies and just unwinding after a stressful day, um, how did that support the value with your family and with your job? I mean, how do they relate to each other in your words?
Well, I guess they really don't relate to each other all that well. If I want to maintain my job and put food on the table and keep a happy family, I can't keep that kind of stuff up. That's for sure.
All right, Chad. Well, why don't you share with me if your behavior continues and you just continue to unwind the same way that you've done since you were in high school? Uh, what do you see yourself doing a year from now? How is that impact going to be a year from now?
If I continue to drink,
Right. If you just continue to drink the way you're doing it now, because I mean, after all, like you said, there are people who go out there and they have a couple of drinks and they just don't get caught, or they find alternate ways to get home. You may have just been a little bit unlucky, but if you continue with the same behavior, what do you see happening in the next year?
well, I hate to look into that crystal ball, Gil, but I don't see myself having a job. I've been so unlucky lately, and I would probably get a third DUI and I'd pretty much lose everything.
Okay, so just to kind of recap, what I'm hearing here is that growing up, when you were in high school and to this point, drinking has just been kind of a way of life for you and actually a way for you to unwind because you're obviously a hard worker, you're a family man. You care about your family, you love your family, you want to be responsible. Unfortunately, though, your drinking has caused some strain between you and your wife and has caused you to quite frankly have your job in jeopardy and put you in harm's way. So, what are some of the good things that can happen with some change behavior?
Well, I cut back the drinking and don't go out with my buddies at night. I mean, first and foremost, I'm not going to be in jeopardy of another DUI, so I'm not going to lose my job. I'll keep my wife happy. I guess I'd save a little bit of money too, which that could be repurposed back into family time and spending it on the kids.
And it seems like just the tone of your voice changed a little bit there. And it seems like you might be gaining a little bit of peace of mind, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely, Gil. I think you're right.
Okay. So have you thought about what some of the things that you can do to create some change in your behavior? Have you given any serious considerations to what you might do to change?
Well, I've been thinking about maybe picking up the guitar again and learning to play the guitar. That's a new hobby that my wife recommended that I could take up some time and wouldn't have to involve alcohol, and I could stay home doing it. I think that would be a
Okay.
positive.
Yeah, spending time with your family is something that's important to you. Um, on a scale of 1 to 10, Chad, with 10 being the most important and 1 being just not important at all, at this point, how important is it for you to take some steps towards changing your behavior?
Well, considering my situation, I'd have to say 10 out of 10. It's necessary to make a change, but
Wow,
it's
that's really high. I mean, that is significant. And let me ask you this, Chad. Why did you say a 10 and not a 1?
well, I need to make a change. I can't continue on this stretch of life that I'm going on. It's no good for anybody.
And just elaborate a little bit for me, Chad, if you would. What about it is so unbearable at this point that you really have to change?
Well, I got an unhappy wife. I've got legal trouble, which kind of boils down to financial trouble too. We've had to get a lawyer involved in it and the court proceedings with this DUI. So,
You there, Chad? You lost them. Can you hear me, Sarah? You can take your mute off so I can hear you. That's fine. I think I'm gonna shoot him
Hi.
an email. I'm gonna shoot him an
Okay.
email. See if
Can you edit these? Can you splice one part to the other so you don't have to start over?
I don't know. Like I said, I've never had to.
Can you take it off live and then put it back on live and we'll pick up?
No, it'll be a whole new session.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of the crummy part.
Yeah.
Maybe you should play his wife, and then we'll finish the session with you.
If he doesn't change, he's gonna have another thing coming.
Well, I guess you know what I can do is I'll stop the broadcast. I'll send out another invite, call it part 2, pick up where I left, and put both links in Blackboard, I guess.
Yeah, that's
So
what I would do.
let me go ahead and do that then, and just be looking out for the invite right now.
Okay.